In this video, we are going to add the end screen. So what happens when you end the game? So you may have noticed that when you play the game, instead of the game switching to a new screen, we're really just going to darken out the background a little bit and bring up the final score and have this like flipped over fly appear. Um, so this is our goal of what we're going to create. My question to you is, what new elements, layout elements, do you notice that you're going to need to add? And so I see that we're going to need to add a darkener, we're going to need to add the fly, and we're going to need to add this piece of text. So we're going to add all these new elements to the HUD layer. So I'm going to come over here. Whoa. I always like to zoom out so I can see what I'm looking at. And so you can see that I am indeed on my HUD layer. So here we go. To add the end fly, we're going to start the end fly off the screen. Oh, add the end fly and start it off the screen. So I'm going to insert a new object, sprite. We will go find this. There's not extra animations to this one. Picnic party, sprites. Fly? No. Extra assets. Here we go. The end fly. He's so sweet. And then we're going to start him off the screen. Let's see. There we go. He doesn't do anything. There's no animation, so there's no need to like loop it or add speed. We're going to add a new text element, and that's going to be like our try again text. I'm always very specific when I'm writing my names for text, just because when it's over here in the bar, I really want to know what I'm looking at. I'm going to rewrite this as press enter to try again. I'm going to make this text white because I'm going to put it like right here, and maybe I'll make it a little bit larger. Cool. Okay, now we're going to add a new sprite called darkener. New object. This will be a sprite. And what we're going to do is we're going to resize it to be the size of our screen. So remember, these arrows that go out are resize. We're going to do 512 by 384. I'm going to paint bucket it perfect gray. Perfect gray is 128, 128, 128. And then I'm going to change the origin to be the top left. That way, I can perfectly click it in by writing the position of 0, 0. Okay, on to the event sheet. What? Sprite 2. Rename that to darkener. You could also probably call it like end screen. Sprite, rename that guy to end fly. In the start of layout event, be sure to set the opacity of the darkener to 0, otherwise you aren't going to see much. Observe. You can't see anything, right? So opacity is how see-through something is. So right here in our unstart of layout, when we very first begin the game, we're going to add an action to the darkener, and it's going to be probably in this appearance menu, set opacity to 0. It probably doesn't matter where you put it, but I am going to put it right here just before I create this is player, just in case you remember. So now, when I play my game, you don't even see that it's there. But you do see that this text is there. So we're going to do something about that. You know what? Let's destroy it. There it is. Okay, gone. The following code will create a short delay between the final SWAT and the end screen. So we are going to actually, I'm going to close this group up. Close this. Did I hide that? Okay. Add the event. Wait, no. Add a group called end screen. And the first event we're going to check is if the global variable of end is equal to 1. So most of the time our global variable is 0, meaning the game is not over. But if we're going to do compare variable, if end is equal to 1, then the game is going to be over. So the first thing that's going to happen is we are going to set our value of n to 2. This is going to move it into this new sequence of events. We're going to set the time scale to 0.25. Again, this is really slowing down time. So it's almost like slow motion. And when I say wait for 0.25 seconds, I'm still waiting a whole second, but it's just slow. Then you always, if you're going to do time scale, you always got to remember to bring it back to 1. Set time scale back to 1. And then we're going to wait another second. And then we're going to set the opacity of the darkener to 25. You could do it a little bit more if you want. I think 30 might be fine because I kind of felt like I didn't really see it that much. Or maybe like 40. I don't know, 35. We're going to set the score text position. So you're going to bring the score from the top left corner into the center. So we're going to set position to 192. 192. We're going to create that end fly on layer 4. So like bring up that create, maybe it would be create object and fly on layer 4. You could probably write HUD. Nope, it needs a number. And we'll put this fly in the middle to 56, 12? I wonder if that's correct or if I'm at 128. We're going to destroy the lives bar. Where's that at? We're going to See how I actually destroyed this? I think we could get around that by setting it try again text. We could probably pull that off the screen. Put this back at 0, 0. And now I could set the position of that try again text. Just like simplifying your code by one time. Either way works though. 256, 224. And we're going to destroy the lives text. That probably should have happened already. But it all happens at the exact same time, so. Cool. So I'm going to play, but I want to play this with 0 lives so I can get hit once and then see the product of my. So good at this game. Ah! I wanted that to happen. Okay, so this is what we're looking at so far. So the score, I feel like I want my try again text a little bit further to the left, so I'm just going to take off some X values there. And I might even set my opacity to be a little bit more, because otherwise you can't really tell. It'd also be cool to blurry out the background. So X, let's see. Maybe 200. I was looking for if there was like a center align, but I don't know if there. Oh, there is. There's that horizontal alignment. So I'm actually going to go here to my try again text and I'm going to horizontally align it like this. And then I'm going to place it right in the middle. So if across is, what was it, 512? I'm going to do 512 divided by 2, and that's 256. So now it should look better. 256. Since it was left aligned, I don't think it looked good. Okay, next we're going to create, because now we need to reset the game. So we're going to create another event in this group that checks two things. If we hit keyboard, so on key pressed, we'll do enter. And we're going to add another condition. And the end is equal to 2. Then we're going to do three things. We're going to reset the global variables, we're going to restart the layout, and then we'll just make sure that the timescale is ready to go. So restart, reset, global variables, restart layout, and set timescale to 1. Cool. And we should, here's a screenshot of everything you should have. But if you play your game, don't forget, if you're going to change that, go ahead and change it back up to 3. And we go. We should now have this really cool game. Haha! I scored without even trying.